Hi there, everybody. This is John Drew here from Elevated Planet.
And Jolé Gabrielle here from Elevated Planet. And we'd like to welcome you back to our Sunday live show.
Yay.
And we've got some really cool, grounded stuff for you today that John's going to tell us more about.
Yes, thank you, Jolé. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been probably 3 or 4 weeks now since we last did it. I'd been to America, met with Jolé, and had an interesting time out there in the desert and in LA and Orange County, and it was nice. It was nice to get grounded out there as well. And then obviously coming back here and doing my pilgrimage down to the Isle of Avalon. And unfortunately, it seems I'm not the next King Arthur in line. I couldn't pull the sword from out of the stone. So here I am. But yeah, it was good. It was really fascinating. And I'm going to be going back down there again before too long and taking my partner with me this time. And we're going to do a little bit more exploring. Glastonbury is amazing. Oh, and here's one thing to share with you as well. So, one of the things, again, if you were on our WhatsApp group and you saw the stuff coming through, you'd have seen the little 1 minute video from the guy who makes the wands over in Glastonbury. This was the wand that I got from him. Got loads of amethyst over it and all sorts of things. And he was an interesting guy, and a character. But Glastonbury is full of characters. It's full of the shops that in most cities would be regarded as the woo-woo nonsense shops, but a vast majority of Glastonbury is full of that. So anybody who ever gets a chance to make that pilgrimage down there, and there was the Chalice Well as well, where I got some of that water from the Chalice Well for Joy, which is on its way to her now on a little silver bottle. Because what was really interesting about this is that, oh, and Joy's with us now as well. Joy, hi. But that was that she had the reading with Avine, and Avine said that the water from the Chalice Well, or a visit to the Chalice Wells, to receive an activation. And I found that really interesting because on the book that we've featured so heavily over the last few weeks, The Hypnotist's Journey to Avalon, the author of the book, Sarah Brexman Cosme, was also told during one of her quantum healing hypnosis sessions that she too should go to Glastonbury to take of the spring waters there for an activation. So I think, some weird kind of synchronicities going on there and now, and it's fine. And talking of water and wands, here is my Anelma wand, which is the water. Again, we've mentioned this a couple of times, but Stephen from Twisted Reality Channel, he did that fantastic interview with the guy who owns the company that makes this, and it creates the structured water, and it's a crystal quartz wand with mother water in the middle. So that's pure structured water, and the principle is that when you stir water with this, the molecules of the water always align with the strongest kind of energetic component around. And this is that. And it creates structured water. And I've got to say, I've been trying this. We've been drinking all the water, using the wand first, just getting normal spring water, if you like, and then just using the wand. And there's a strange thing about it. It's the consistency of it. It sometimes seems to become very smooth. And I did the same thing with the bath as well. I had a bath and I was kind of like did the one thing in the water, and that too. It just is a weird consistency to it. It becomes like a smooth water, and it makes you think, well, this is the way it's supposed to be. So yeah, no, I'm really excited about that. And Joy, just watch out in the post in the next couple of days. You should get a little bottle of water there directly from the wellhead at Chalice Wells. So anyway, getting back to this week, breathwork. So again, that book, the Hypnotist Journey to Avalon. Last time we featured the piece from there, we were looking into the work of the Knights of the Round Table through the eyes of Sir Lancelot, who again came through in a quantum healing hypnosis technique situation. And he was explaining how important it was to the Knights of the Round Table, how it connected them, and I'll let Lancelot speak for himself because he's actually included in the video. So I won't go too much into that. But this was the reason why we followed up on the breathwork. And when I was in Sedona last year for the Greg Braden event, we did a breathwork kind of facility there, and it was awe-inspiring. I'd not realized how powerful this was. So one of the ladies who facilitates the breathwork for Greg Braden kindly put her hand up and said, Isa Visanti volunteered to actually put this forward. But not only that, but has subsequently also agreed to do a proper breathwork session that anybody can sign up for. It's free of charge and it's on the 22nd of April, but all the details are included within this first section. So what I've done is that I did an interview with Isa, which was about 56 minutes long in total. Of that, we've extracted 20 minutes for this first section and then 4 minutes leading into the meditation. So there will be a part two to this that will be accessible through the newsletter and that we will release on our channel. So this first section is interesting within its own right, but I would also recommend for anybody that enjoys the first section, please do check out part two as well, which will be released tomorrow with the newsletter, because there Isa has the opportunity to go into some of the other focuses and modalities that she does as well. And it's really interesting. I learned a great deal. So absolutely would recommend that. So with that said, Jolé, is there anything you would care to add before we dive in?
Yeah, breathing, it's so powerful. It's the stuff of life. And so we're really getting back to the basics on this show and allowing for the heart to lead. So I'm really excited about that.
Yes. Yes, no, breath work it amazed me. And, I mean, something as simple as breathing, you wouldn't imagine can be so incredible, but
Yes.
it is.
Issa
Yeah.
talks about how breathing, and I'm excited about this, how you can just breathe. You don't have to deal with the trauma. You don't have to look at it, feel it, breathe it out of your system and breathe in more unconditional love and potentiality. So it's exciting to hear what she has to say.
Yeah. Thank you, Jolly. Fantastic. Right. In that case, we are now going to hit the button. So bear with me, everybody. We will do that right now. Hi there, everybody. This is John Drew here from Elevated Planet, and I am here today with Isa Visante. Is that pronounced correctly? Is that Visante, Isa?
It's Vasanti.
Visanti, right.
Yeah, thank you for asking.
Delighted to meet you, and I'm really grateful to you for stepping up as part of our community, who I know is a breathwork consultant because I would have been there with experiencing your work firsthand back in April, what was it? No, May, June of last year at the Greg Braden event at Sedona. And I've got to say that it was, it amazed me. I'd tried the Wim Hof thing before the breathwork again, which is exceptionally good. But that experience in the hall, when there were, the best part of 300 of us laid out there, all being facilitated in this breath work over a reasonable period of time, it was amazing. I just hadn't realized how impactful it was. And I know my daughter, she's used breathwork, and I remember her telling me, "Oh, Dad, you've got to try this. This is kind of special." So I'm really delighted that you volunteered your time to speak to
Well,
us.
mhm. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you, Isa. And I think one of the things that we wanted to start with was just really go back to that little brief section, which was Sir Lancelot of the Round Table, talking about how the knights of that era trained, particularly with regards to the King Arthur. And one thing that I've learned through this particular book, The Hypnotist Journey to Avalon, was that how spiritual that round table and the King Arthur and Merlin. Merlin's still an energy that's out there today, right? So I found it amazing. So is that okay? We start with that, Isa? We'll
Let's go
start.
for it. Yeah.
Let's do that to set the scene. Bear with me a second.
Tell me more about yourself. What do you do during your day? Much of the day is consumed by preparation for battle, training, drills, and relentless practice. We work tirelessly to sharpen our skills, training new knights, and perfecting the art of combat. But the most critical lesson isn't about swordsmanship or strategy. It's about mastering ourselves. They drilled into us the importance of controlling our emotions, explaining that true strength lies in the ability to remain calm under pressure. A warrior who can keep his head clear and his heart steady is unstoppable, even in the chaos of battle. It's not just about fighting, it's about becoming something more, something unshakable, no matter what stands before you. It all begins and ends with breath control. Your breath is the bridge between your body and your emotions. And in the chaos of battle, it's your greatest tool. When the adrenaline surges, your breath instinctively quickens, becomes shallow and erratic. If you let that happen, your emotions spiral, and you're dragged into a reactive state, fear, anger, or panic taking over. But if you can master your breath, you can master yourself. Slowing your breathing, keeping it deep and steady, anchors your mind. It allows you to remain calm, even as chaos rages around you. Each inhale and exhale reminds your body that it's in control. With that control comes clarity. Your actions are no longer driven by instinct, but by intention. More than that, focused breath work strengthens the protective energy around you. As you breathe steadily, you feel yourself surrounded by an invisible shield, a field of calm and safety that nothing can penetrate. This isn't just about defense. It's about commanding your space, shaping the battle on your terms. Mastering this takes practice, but when you can maintain that state, calm breath, steady emotions, and unshakable sense of protection, it's like standing in the eye of the storm. Everything may rage around you, but you remain untouched. That's the true strength of a warrior. What type of breathing would you do? Our technique was precise. We'd roll the tip of our tongue up to the roof of our mouths, creating a connection within ourselves and taking the deepest breath we could. As we inhaled, we focused on our abdomen, imagining a ball of light forming there. This ball wasn't just a visualization, it was our shield, our field of protection. As we breathed in, the ball contracted, growing denser, pulling energy inward, strengthening. When we exhaled, we would press the breath out of our abdomen, visualizing the ball expanding outward, wrapping around us like an impenetrable shield. This contraction and expansion, in sync with each breath, created a rhythm, a dynamic living barrier of light and energy. The key was control. As long as we could maintain steady, deliberate breathing, we could maintain this field. A deep inhale would draw the protection inward, fortifying it, and a slow, measured exhale would expand it outward, surrounding us with calm, focused energy. The practice wasn't just physical, it demanded emotional balance. Each breath carried intention. Each inhale and exhale was a reminder that we controlled our state, no matter what chaos surrounded us. This rhythm of contraction and expansion was our greatest anchor, our armor, and our greatest defense.
Isa, that was the inspiration to reach out. Very grateful that you volunteered to step forward for this. How do you like listening to this? Obviously, what would have been a medieval version of breathwork, but the importance of it. How does that sound relative to your experience with breathwork?
Yeah, the first thing that came when I listen is that so we live in a different time, and most of us we are aspirant warriors, I would call us, rather than really knights. Maybe we were in a other lifetime, and we have to remember actually. And so right now on the planet, I do feel that there is a lot of suffering and a lot of trauma in people's system. So we also use the breath to center ourselves, but eventually, before we get there, we have to clear a lot of traumas, right? So this is how we are using breathwork, integrative breathwork nowadays.
Hmm.
I mean, that's integrative breathwork. Then there is still also, you know, other technique of breathwork like pranayama and those kind of techniques that allow us to center ourselves and to come back to the now and to connect our mind and our body. That's really, I mean, he speaks of mind and emotion. I like that. It's also mind and body. When we come back to our body, you know, with the breath, with the vehicle of the breath, by really feeling it move in the abdomen, ideally in the abdomen, we come back to the temple of our physical form. And also we come back to earth, because the body is earth, is of the earth element. So this grounding allows us to remember, okay, I am here grounded, I am safe in this moment. So that's what that's what
Mm.
would come up. But as I was saying, nowadays we have a lot of trauma to clear, and so the way we use integrative breath work is a modality that allows us to to clear our traumas, actually, to clear them by accessing them. So the breath, so this is circular diaphragmatic breathing. So we breathe without pause between inhale, exhale, and the next inhale, and it creates a change in the pH of the body. And so it makes the blood more alkaline. And trauma tends to acidify actually the body. So
Right.
with breath work, we start to thaw those places who have been frozen for a long time, and we allow flow to come back. What's really magical about breath work is that we don't necessarily have to go back through the stories and, you know, process in the
Mm.
mind. The breath is the medicine. You
Yes.
just breathe, and so you start to breathe in a circular manner. The body gets really activated, and the mind, as the body gets activated, the mind starts to relax a little bit, and all the attention now comes onto the breath and the body, and whatever was hidden for a long time, because we, in, you know, in our era, I would say, we live more in our head than we live in our body. So we cut ourselves off from our embodied experience where the trauma resides.
Mm.
So once we activate the body through the breath, everything that is under the surface of our ordinary mind now just comes up and becomes available. And the instruction, I would say, is to breathe through it, and to trust that the breath will clear up whatever needs to be cleared. I like to add that for me, healing is really about compassion, befriending, rather than pushing away. And pushing away, this is what we have done for a long time in our lives. And that's because we pushed it away that it continues to exist in our body. So breathing into those places that were hidden or that are difficult or unacceptable, but breathing with with this intention for curiosity and for compassion and healing and befriending, really awakening the heart actually in the process.
Mm.
That's what clears up those past traumas, I would say. But, there is, I think it's important to speak of trauma because we are living at a time when suffering is still very prevalent on the planet. And yet now we are also starting to see that there is another way of being
Yes.
where we can exist in the heart from a place of love and a place of expansion. And the breath work allows us to reach that place. So eventually, and this is not in every session, a person will have to address some of those wounding, but maybe not. And
Yeah.
maybe after a lot of breath work, everything is cleared, and then you breathe and you just reach that higher potential of humankind, I would say, which
Yeah.
is to feel so much joy and so much love and so much energy and life force activated and lots of inspiration. And then beyond that, we can also reach a place where we see beyond the veil. So, there are always spirits present around us. They are there. We just don't see them. And if we don't even believe in them, we can completely cut off. And
Yes.
with this type of breath work, you just, because we bypass, I would say, what we call, how is it called now? That network of the ego self. I forgot the
Mm.
scientific name now, but in any way, we bypass that cage of the ego, and then we enter what is possible about being human. And what is possible is to feel. And for some people is to feel, for other people is to hear or to see, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience. And we start to enter in connection with the presence around us. And it can be people who we have loved and they passed, or it could be spirit guides, or anything,
Yeah.
anything. And so that becomes such a way, I think, to realize the potential of us human, and it expands our consciousness. In one word, you would say breath work expands consciousness. That's
Yeah.
what it does. Yeah.
Yeah. And this really reminds me as well of when I did the Awakening the Sacred Heart workshop that Drumvalo Melchizedek ran a lot of this. And actually, one of the connections actually with the Knights of the Round Table thing, they talk about, and as you're talking about this as well, like the living from the heart rather than from the mind. Okay, this is the switch. But one of the things that Lancelot talked about was that the way they're taught to link the end of their tongue up to the roof of their mouth in a
Mhm.
specific position, because we were taught in that workshop that the tongue is actually connected around the heart because there is a sac that goes all the way around the heart. So effectively, the tongue represents the heart energy connecting to the mind. So it helps with that mind heart connection. And there was a lot of breath work involved with this and pranic breathing and the likes, which I had never really been aware of pranic breathing before. But how this powers you up from a consciousness perspective to break out of like the programmed and conditioned human that we've been taught to believe we are, which is very limited, to be exactly how you describe it. Like we've got to go through clearing the trauma, right? That's part of what we've got to do right now. Because we, again, like as a Brit, we're always taught to repress things, right? Don't show your emotions, bottle it all up. That's got to be good for you. So the time is now where we have to allow these things to come to the surface. And one of the things I remember again about doing the breath work at the Greg Braden event, care of yourself and your friends, was the amount of clearing that went on. The amount of emotion that came out from people, the release, it was just, it was amazing. The energy of the place. It just, I wouldn't have believed it possible. Like you'd imagine this is some strong medication going on here. Well, no, actually, all we're doing is breathing in a very specific and disciplined way. But it's kind of like such a natural high and connection that it was just, I just couldn't imagine it being that way. So I think
Mhm.
it's fascinating.
It is fascinating, yeah, yeah. And as I hear you talk, I want to reframe a little bit what I said. I spoke of trauma, and that's a very hip word, I would say, nowadays. But like you said, there are a lot of emotions that we have not felt.
Hmm.
And emotion is energy in motion. So we stopped the motion of that energy. And as we stop it, it gets stuck somewhere in the body. Maybe it's not a trauma per se. Maybe it's just, you didn't, when you were little, you just didn't get the dessert you wanted to have or whatever, the cookie,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so all those tears that were not shed in the past, they stay in the body, so they have to flow again. They have to flow again, and so that's what we do with the breath work, and it's
yeah,
like by layer. Yeah.
yeah. And it's again going back to one of the phrases that was used by in the Lancelot piece is that standing in the eye of the storm. Once you get this connection, the chaos can be going on all around you because this is what we're working our way through now. Okay, so like there's planetary chaos because there's a lot of rebalancing needs to take place there on a planetary basis. And at the same time, we have this war of consciousness that's going on right now, with the lower forces trying to stop people from rising in consciousness. At the same time, those on the higher timeline actually have as long as we're focused on that higher timeline, this is the way I understand it. I believe that higher timeline is protected from those darker entities whose role it is in this lifetime to try and put a lid on humanity as much as they can. So this is one of the things I see with breath work and exactly what you're describing, Isa, is that, it is that bridge to this high dimension and the bridge to who we really are. Not the version that we've been told we are, but the version
Yeah.
we really are. Okay, so Isa is going to be facilitating this online sacred breath circle for us on the 22nd of April between 10 to 11:30 a.m. Mountain Time. So relative to Mountain Time, you want to check and find out how that works for your particular time zone. But this is going to be exciting. So what does this do for us? In this first online breathwork circle, I love the fact that it's on Earth Day as well, 22nd of April. So, and again, this is not a one-off. There will be a series of these that follows, but this is the first one. And again, just to put it into Isa's words on this invitation, with so much changing, many seek methods that help us embody rather than just contemplate transformation. So join us online on Earth Day, 22nd of April, for our first online sacred breath circle, a guided journey to release what no longer serves and connects with your inner wisdom. Earth Day honors our planetary home, our sacred ground. As we breathe together on this special day, we recognize that our breath is our most intimate connection with the earth, a constant exchange of life forces. Through conscious breathing, we anchor the frequencies of the earth and contribute directly to planetary healing. Our individual transformation becomes part of the collective shift towards a consciousness that recognizes the sacredness of all life. So again, this is what it's all about, harnessing the magic of your breath to remember who you truly are. So in this time of paradigm shift on our planet, integrative breathwork offers a direct pathway to the expanded awareness we are being called to embody. While the mind can understand concepts of unity and oneness, the breath allows us to experience them. Breathwork bypasses the analytical mind, allowing us to release old patterns and limiting beliefs that keep us in separation consciousness. The altered state, accessed through breathwork, opens us up to higher dimensions of awareness, what many traditions call fifth dimensional or unity consciousness. As we breathe together in the circle, we create a powerful collective field that amplifies our individual experiences. And I love that factor right there, the squaring of whatever that number is. It's going to make this a powerful event. So this practice doesn't require years of meditation or spiritual study. It offers immediate access to expanded states of consciousness available to everyone, regardless of background or experience. So again, this is what you will experience. The breath reveals what the mind conceals. The benefits of integrative breathwork: releases tension and emotional blockages stored in the body, opens access to expanded states of consciousness, deepens connection to your inner wisdom and intuition, creates space for clarity, insight, and transformation to emerge. So this 90-minute session includes centering meditation and sacred container creation, introduction to the breathwork technique, guided breathwork journey with supportive music, integration sharing circle, practices to carry the experience into daily life. And I think that is such a key as well. Creating this into a practice, this is truly transformational. So, so grateful to Isa for bringing this to us. And we're back. So, yeah, no, I'm really grateful to Isa for putting aside this time. And again, I would reinforce that we have part 2 as well, and I would recommend people to watch it because Isa does go into some really valuable details there in terms of the trauma side of things, the trauma clearing, a couple of extra methodologies that she uses herself and that she teaches and facilitates. So it could also maybe be part of the 90-minute session on the 22nd of April. So get your calendars and your diaries out and make a note, 90 minutes to spare on the 22nd of April. I'm convinced it'll be very worthwhile because I do remember that session at the Greg Braden event. And it was mind-blowing, really. Such a natural high. And to think, and that's the other thing as well, you talk about, one of the reasons that Isa loves doing this is because when you have several people doing it, it really amplifies the energy. You don't have to be in the same room, the number just amplifies. And it's that, we've talked about this before, where it comes to consciousness, when you've got 10 people, it squares. So 10 people is the value of 100, the energy of 100 people, and so on and so forth. So I think that this will be something which can be life-changing, particularly for those who've never tried it before. I would very much recommend it. Now, one of the things that Isa talks about is the idea of befriending the trauma. And I love that. And again, that's a big part of what she talks about in part 2 as well, explaining how this is done. And again, I just find this really a valuable piece of information because, we try to push the trauma down, we try to ignore the trauma, and again, it just repeats itself in a cycle. So that's something that we know at this particular time on the planet, it is time to bring these things up, release them, and move forward. So that will be something that this will help us to achieve as well. The invitation that we ran through at the end, there'll be a link to that on the newsletter. There'll be a link to that on the video that goes out on YouTube as well. So there will be plenty of opportunity for you to reserve your space for the 22nd. And that is with the Circle of the New Earth, which is Isa's own kind of site that she uses to facilitate these kind of sessions. So yeah, I would I've already signed up for it, so I got in early, and we will be recording it as well. So for those who are unable to make it, which is quite understandable, we will be able to bring that through Isa as a recorded video session as well. So that will be exciting, and we'll be able to spread the love and spread the joy even more. What else was I going to mention? Yeah, I love this idea. The body gets activated through the breath, which makes the body relax and allows you to get past the conscious mind blockers. And that's really important for us left brainers, bypassing the analytical mind. I'm sure it serves a purpose for all of us, but us left brainers have got a little bit further to go. We've got to get to it's just getting out of the conscious mind is such a valuable thing. And that's definitely what I experienced at the Great Braden event. So, and getting into the heart, the joy, the love, the energy, and the inspiration, and also the ability to see beyond the veil. This thins the veil. Our vibration rises as this goes on and our consciousness raises. We're getting closer to the world of spirit. So that will, enable those some who are naturally closer, maybe you'll be able to see things. It'll be fascinating to find out. And, we will, of course, welcome comments of how people get on with this and what their experiences are, of course. And again, the WhatsApp group will be very useful for that. So again, if there's anybody out there who's not part of our WhatsApp community, then that is also on the links to this video. Please just tap on that, and you will be part of the team and join us. So, yeah, okay. And that was the thing again. The reason this really resonated with me at this particular time is that we're starting to see an amplification of the chaos that is going on in the world, which can be quite disconcerting for many, particularly if you're drawn into the narrative. And we know how important it is to get on our eagle's perch, to allow the bad actors to speak louder and louder, but not get drawn into the drama, because all the power lays within. This is what breathwork allows us to do. It allows us to go deeper. It allows us to raise our consciousness. Therefore, we are less prone to getting dragged into the drama unnecessarily. Okay, well, if you're at the coal face and you're having to literally face up to it, then, there's no bypassing there. You've got to tackle it, right? But for a vast majority of us who are kind of like, just think, focus on self first, focus on your immediate surroundings, focus on the things that we can influence. Because if we can't influence it anyway, why would we quantumly entangle our energy with darkness, therefore feed the darkness? We want to feed the light. And this is what the breathwork thing is all about again, feeding the light, getting us ever closer to our new Avalon, our world of unspeakable beauty. So this is taking really good steps care of the wonderful Isa to help us to step in that direction. So with that said, Jolé, can I bring you in?
Here I am. Absolutely. It's going to be a beautiful event. And I'm so glad that we were able to partner with people who are able to help us raise our vibration and frequency, because that's what it's all about. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing this in their life, but there has been so much of a culling, a loss of people, of things, of our past way of life. Even here in America, things are beginning to unravel in a certain way. And John, you talked about this before, whereas some of this energy maybe we need to destroy in order to rebuild. We need to change or transmute in a way that is taking us to this new earth and this energy and vibration where we are loving each other, we're more compassionate, we are more forgiving, and we are at a high vibration and frequency where we're able to manifest quickly. So I think one of the things we want to pair with this breathing is positive thinking and affirmations. You want to visualize while you're breathing your highest good, and work on you, because when you're breathing and you begin to get into the molecules and the cells in your body, asking them for forgiveness, resolving the past, that moves itself out into your environment, and it really affects those who are connected to you. And so when we're doing this work, especially of the breath, it's so divine in that we're not only repairing our trauma, repairing ourselves, but we're doing so for our ancestors, our progenies, and those that are connected to us. So the breath is a very powerful means of bringing in the light, bringing in life.
Yes. Yeah, that's wonderfully said. And I know we're going to get more into that in the meditation side of things as well, which is exciting. I was just glancing actually at the comments that have been coming through, and from Joy. One of the questions that Joy asked was in relation to that thing where, the tongue kind of on the roof of the mouth. Like Lancelot mentioned
Hmm.
this as part of what they did, but also this was a big part of what we did in that illuminating the what was it? I always get it wrong.
Melchizedek.
Awakening the illuminated heart, the Drumvalo Melchizedek
Yes.
workshop, which was facilitated by Viola Rose, who was a brilliant facilitator. But what it was? It was exactly that, so this sac that surrounds the heart, ultimately that muscle comes up and then it becomes the tongue. So it literally is connected. So it is a connection, direct connection. And there's a little nodule at the back of your roof of your mouth. And when you connect the end of your tongue to that, and then you breathe through, and it was actually quite uncomfortable to do, I've got to say, because I think we had to do this for, it was at least 20 minutes, might have even been half an hour. Viola would correct me on that, but you had to just kind of focus on that and just it's a very strange thing, but it's interesting because it's all about getting into the sacred space of the heart and connecting. It's the connecting that mind heart connection is so important. So, that was partly facilitating that. So, yeah, you inhale and exhale to your point, to your question, Joy. You're breathing through that. So, literally, I think it was 20 minutes. I think it was 20 minutes. And apart from the slight discomfort you get, there is definitely a sense of connection there. So, yeah, it is. And yeah, and thank you for the comments as well from all of you. And it's great for us to be back as well. So, yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right. So, what do you think? Do you think we should just, um, yeah. Oh, yeah. Joy's just saying, great. She can't make the 22nd, but we will have the recording, so therefore we'll be able to watch that retrospectively as well. Plus, I think that the good thing is that having that on video also helps us to create it as an exercise as well, to go back and play it through, to get that regularly in place. Okay, Jolé. Now, I'm going to be quiet now, other than to say, are we ready to go?
Yes, let's roll.
Right. Going to do the last little 4 minute section with Isa, who gives us a great bit of insight here. And then that leads directly into Jolé's guided meditation visualization. She's getting her magic wand out as we speak. A bit like this one here. Right, here we go. Bear with me.
Integrative breathwork is really a modality to remember who we truly are, and who we truly are, as as an individual self. What is my personal light? How do I personally emit my light, through this body and this mind? So that's the power of the breath. Yeah,
Mm,
is to return to that, to really return to that. And after each session, I do that quite a lot. And I can see at the end of a session, like, people come back out. They come back out, and you can see the spark of
mm,
light, the spark of the soul. And then eventually, the conditioning comes back until until it does not, until it does not. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And
Mhm.
as you say, the connection to spirit who is all around us. You're kind of like that you're thinning the veil at the same time, right? Because
Yeah.
our vibration is going to rise, even if theirs stays the same, we're getting closer. Our ability to feel into that, or to see that, is got to be getting closer and closer, which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is growing for sure. And it's like, the way I experience it is, it's as we through the breath work, of course, the thinking mind comes to rest a little bit. I mean, that's the goal. If it
Yeah.
does not, this is really where we want to go. And so the heart gets activated eventually.
Yeah.
And once the heart is activated, it's like the heart is a portal. I like to call it the portal to the all there is. And the all there is sacred geometry all around us. And so we enter into that field. And it's really difficult to put words onto that. I mean, for me, I value the experience more than I value the capacity to speak of it. I mean, it's good to point to people where, how and what it is, but the experience is really where we need to go right now. It's into that experience. And what you were saying also was sparked in me the dialogue between fear and love.
Mm.
Fear is still is I mean, we can say that fear is what keeps us contracted, what keeps us into that lower timeline or lower consciousness. And the work right now is to recognize a fear when it comes, because we don't live in, I mean, ideally we don't live in fear most of the time, but I remember a time in my life when I was living in fear most of the time. So I think it's still a possibility. But the work we are called to do right now is to choose between love and fear. And what does it mean? People have to know what love is. And
Yeah.
through breath work, we can know that, because we can reach that state where we are so expanded and so safe. Safety is very important in a breath work circle, I would say, because people have to realize, yeah, their safeties, they have to be safe so that they can expand into that higher state of consciousness.
Take a deep breath in. Exhale. As you begin to come into a comfortable position where your feet are flat on the floor. For those of you laying down, please keep your feet flat on the floor for the first part of the meditation. Your palms face up on your thighs. As you begin to bring your awareness to the center of your chest and breathe with the rhythm of your body. Catch the rhythm. Feel your rib cage and your chest expand as you breathe. And then begin to take a deep breath in where your abdomen begins to expand and contract with the exhale. Breathe deeply and feel the air reach all the way down to your thighs. Breathe in again and breathe so deeply that you feel the wind moving around your knees, that life force. Breathe in again and feel that energy moving down your legs. And as you breathe in deeply again, you feel that energy reach your toes. Feel what it feels like to let air and life and breath into your body. Bring your awareness to between your sit bones as you continue to breathe deeply, and allow for your breath to begin to create a grounding cord of a natural earth element. So now we're combining our breath and our visualization. See this beautiful grounding cord begin to create itself, no matter the element. but it starts out as a beehive sort of formation. And then it begins to become smooth as this grounding cord creates itself all the way down through the layers of Mother Earth. So as you breathe deeply in rhythm with your body, clearly see your beautiful grounding cord of a natural earth element, 6 inches in diameter, connected to your first chakra, being created. And you see this bones and the shales. You move through the lithosphere down. You move through the ocean and you're seeing stalagmites, stalactites. You move through that 10,000 leagues under the sea as you see the convection and the seduction of the energy of Mother Earth. As you penetrate that ocean floor and move down through the beautiful, nurturing essence of divine Mother Earth. And before you know it, you're at her core, and your grounding cord is growing roots as Mother Earth welcomes you with love. And she gives you all of the nurturing that you need. As she begins to call in those golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles to blanket the inside and the outside of your grounding cord, as you breathe, cleaning off anything you're ready to let go of, anything that no longer serves you and that's ready to be released. So as you gently begin to bring your awareness back into the heart, you continue to deep breathe with the rhythm of your body, infusing every molecule and every cell with that unconditional, loving wellness that exists all around you. And you can feel those cells in your body going pop, 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 like carbonation, waking up, removing, resolving all of the traumas that are ready to leave the body. Since we're grounded and rooted, it is now commanded that our higher self stand at the power position above our crown. So as you take a deep breath in, your higher self is above you. Exhale, and it locks into position. As you take another deep breath in, snapping in that astral body, and as you exhale, it settles and aligns fully with your body. You take another deep breath in, and that aura layer begins to formulate itself around you in this perfect circle. And as you exhale, it settles in. So now that your soul architecture is back in place, from a heart-centered space, we take a deep breath in and we open the bottoms of our feet like the lens of a camera. And Mother Earth knows to send that 15% Earth energy of a color that resonates with you, pooling in the bottoms of your feet, traveling up the side channels of your legs. How do I know what 15% is? Mother Earth helps you with that. She sends it in, so just allow it to happen. As you take another deep breath in, you open that crown, and the cosmic divine life force energy, creator of all that is, sends that beautiful divine golden light cascading down. I want you to see it clearly as you breathe. It cascades like a waterfall down on your higher self. And then it begins to penetrate the aura layer, creating a pipeline down into your crown. And this essence bathes your brain, helping you distinguish between your higher self, messages from the divine, and the monkey mind, allowing for your brain to do what it does without any interference from any conditioning or programming. Allow for the breath combined with the golden divine life force energy to recalibrate your brain back to its divinity and free will so that it can continue to align and bring in your sovereignty, your freedom. Let's breathe in thoughts of freedom, independence, unlimited potential to be who you truly are. Allow for those synapses and neurotransmitters to recalibrate for your sovereignty, your free will, your free thought, and for your creativity to be reignited in its fullness. As that golden energy then begins to travel down the vertebra and the spine, powering up the nervous system as that spiritual nervous system first begins to move out into the aura layer, commanding that the physical nervous system does the same. So as you continue to breathe in deeply, allow for that nervous system to expand. I want you to see that electricity moving out into your aura layer and out into your environment, and being like these hands or these fingers calling in all of your highest good. See your nervous system and those electrical pulses, electrical lightning bolts. Be like fingers and saying, come in unconditional love, come in success, come in wellness. You see that as this, you're programming with your breath, your nervous system to only receive the positivity of the universe that reinforces that you are safe and divinely protected. And as this energy, the 15% earth and the 85% cosmic gold, begin to integrate and fill you up like water fills up a cup, I want you to take a deep breath in and exhale. Take another deep breath in. And this time, I want you to see and create on your exhale a beautiful green ball. And this ball of light, no less, is going to turn right outside of you. And I want you to use your consciousness of mind to move this ball down and in front of your first chakra. As you breathe in deeply and breathe out, I want you to see a golden sun above your higher self, inside of that beautiful, divine, cosmic, golden life force energy. And as this visualization becomes clear of the green ball in front of your first chakra and that beautiful golden sun within that cosmic cascade of gold light above the higher self. Keep breathing. Bring your awareness to your heart. And from this space, as you breathe, you're going to see the fear be removed and placed into that green ball of light on your exhale. So breathe in through your nose deeply. And as you breathe out and exhale, the detritus of fear moves itself out of that first chakra and into that golden ball. And you're going to go deep into that chakra, all the way to the very back of it, and move that energy out as you breathe. And as this fear and this lack, as we breathe it out, the trauma and these experiences, that green ball of light takes it in. And that beautiful earth energy and cosmic divine life force combination replaces that energy with limitless unconditional love and potentiality. So take a minute and breathe and move that energy into that loving green ball of light. You can see it as a gray smoke or whatever resonates with you. Pay attention to your breath. Slow it down if you must as you breathe deeply in through your nose and you exhale out through your mouth as that fear, that lack, and those experiences of the past that were negative or traumatizing, move into that green ball that's in front of your first chakra. And when you are ready, with your consciousness of mind, move that green ball up to in front of the second chakra. And as we breathe deeply in through our nose and we exhale out, we're removing and resolving any type of snaky energy, any perversions or lack of creativity, blocks to our creativity, blocks to our pleasure, blocks to us connecting with our sensuality, with our support system. Move out any blocks to connecting with your tribe. And that energy of loving, supportive, positive energy is moving into this second chakra, bringing in unlimited, unconditional love and potentiality. So as you breathe in deeply, exhale all of the blocks and the traumas that may be getting in the way. Breathe with the rhythm of your body and exhale your trauma and your pain and see it go into that beautiful green ball of light. And that energy is being replaced in your body with that unconditional love. And now, as you take a deep breath in, you move that ball up to in front of your third chakra. We're going to move out any blocks to our personal power. And we are going to now begin to call back our energy into that golden sun that we placed above our head and our higher self from all of the people, the places, and the things that have gotten in the way of our self-esteem, our confidence, and our ability to take action and manifest. So call back all of your consistency into that golden sun, breathing out on that exhale any inconsistencies, breathing out any lack of motivation or taking action, breathing out anybody else's expectation or views of us, as that energy we're moving out is being replaced with all of the consistency, the motivation, and the discipline, as our personal power is being called back into that golden sun above our head. So as you breathe out the negative, that energy is replaced, recalibrating, aligning you with your purpose. Breathe deeply in through your nose and exhale out all of the negativity. Dig deep into that chakra. And if you get to something challenging, ho'oponopono it. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. If an experience or an emotion begins to run through you, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. As it leaves your body and moves into that beautiful green ball of light in front of you. Take a moment and ho'oponopono yourself. Anytime you have promised yourself something and failed to do it, it's okay. Ho'oponopono it and move it out. Restore yourself back to your original innocence, knowing that when you say you're going to do something, you do it. Knowing that you are the embodiment of consistency, of loving discipline, and of purposeful action. As you breathe in all the goodness that this universe has to offer, and you breathe out all of your limiting thoughts and beliefs that you are holding in your body. So on the next breath, move that beautiful green ball of light in front of your heart. And open those double doors of your heart and allow for all that grief, resentment, rejection, regret, unforgiveness, heartbreak. Let it go. Allow for the beautiful energy of the golden green ball of light in front of you to absorb all of this and restore your heart back to unconditional love and forgiveness with a divine knowingness that you are safe and divinely protected. It is safe for you to be vulnerable. It is safe for you to love. Move out all of the negativity. Ho'oponopono those experiences as you breathe deeply in through your nose and out through your mouth, letting go of the grief, the lack of self-love, and really allowing for the energy of cosmic divine and Mother Earth to restore your heart, moving out any pain, any dis-ease or illness, and moving in unlimited potentiality and unconditional love. Breathe in and breathe out. Remember, there's that 15% earth energy and 85% cosmic gold running through your body, cleaning out all your cells, all of the molecules, bringing health and wellness back into your body as your soul architecture supports you, fortifies you. As you take a deep breath in and you move that green ball of light in front of your throat, and you exhale any lack of truth or integrity. You exhale any hormonal issues, and you bring in the balancing, the truth. Not only that, you bring life into your throat so that whatever you are speaking speaks life into you and your environment. As you move out any need to label, to judge, to self-deprecate, or to even stop breathing, move out that energy where you hold your breath. So breathe deeply here and ho'oponopono. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. As you move out these experiences of sticking your foot in your mouth, saying the wrong thing, and you move in the loving support that I speak life into myself and those around me. So breathe deep, breathe in the positivity, the love, the joy, the truth. As you breathe out anything that fails to align with that vibration and frequency. And this ball, it just eats it up and transmutes it. So take a deep breath in and move that ball to in front of your third eye. And I just want you to move out of your third eye any insanity, lack of clarity, any type of religious blocks to your spirituality and connection to divine, any ancestral or genetic energy that may be blocking you and your purpose, and most definitely your intuition. So this green ball is just taking in all of that doubt, worry, fear, negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, and any blocks to those intuitional voices, thoughts, and pictures that may come in, helping you down this journey of life, aligning you with your highest and most loving good. So as you breathe in life, as you breathe in reality, as you breathe in confidence, you're breathing out all of the things that no longer serves into that beautiful green ball in front of you. Breathe deeply and exhale out all of the trauma from the mind control, the conditioning, and the programming, which has maybe taken you farther away from who you are. So in this moment, give yourself that spiritual hug. Welcome yourself back to the true you. Clean out the center of your head and make it your home. Make it a comfortable place for you to exist and want to stay in your body. So clean out other people's expectations of you. Clean out all of the programming of your job and your schooling, and allow for the divine to recalibrate you. So as you take another deep breath in and exhale, you're going to move that beautiful green ball of light to in front of your crown. And you're just moving out any blocks to connecting with your higher self and divine life force energy. And the beauty of this is that that golden, cascading, cosmic divine light is now encompassing this beautiful green ball. It is also now swimming in the cosmic life force from the divine as you are moving all of that energy out, all of the religious programming that may be blocking you and your connection to the divine, all of the lies you've been told about who you are, your power, moving them out and breathing in that divine life force energy that aligns you directly to your higher self and your purpose. So see this as this breathing and this 15% earth energy and 85% cosmic gold, and that golden sun above your head reaches a critical mass. And now that this energy of negativity throughout your body has been absorbed and the breath has resolved and dissolved the trauma, I want you to visualize, create a beautiful rose outside your aura about 5 feet. And I want you to go ahead and send that green ball of light into that beautiful rose. And see that rose, take it in, envelope it. And I want you to give that rose an energetic push, blow it up, and turn it into positive creative life force energy for anyone to use. You're giving everything and everyone their energy back. The rest turns into life force energy. And now go ahead and see your higher self, pull that golden sun down and bring it into your crown, moving it through the aura layer and allowing for it to come down into your crown as this essence, this divine liquid, living waters of life moves through your body, down your spine, moving down that aura layer, chasing away those golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles down into the core of Mother Earth, bringing your grounding cord into the present moment. It's now clean, clear, filled with gold light as this golden essence pushes itself out into your aura layer, and all of the love that is pouring out of your heart pushes this essence out and lights up your toroidal field, which then has that pyramid with the capped stones spinning, and that white light comes beaming down as it then begins to expand into your environment, encompassing the entire universe, knowing that your positive thoughts, your belief in self, your love for the environment, your service of mankind is resonating. And now you have a straight shot towards your goals. You have been permitted and allowed to manifest all of the loving good in your life. As you breathe deeply and you breathe in joy, you breathe in love, you breathe in life. And you most certainly breathe in divine wellness. So take a few moments and just feel what it feels like, and hold the space of this beautiful divine visualization where you are now restored to your true and divine innocence that aligns you with your sovereignty and your free will. As divine creativity and unconditional love pulsates through every cell of your body. As you breathe deeply, allowing for that wellness to extend and expand, and for your frequency and vibration to be high vibing. Lighting up every room you walk in, transmuting negative energy into positive energy, softening hearts, opening minds. You are beautiful and filled with light. So now, as you take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment. And as you exhale, see the bottoms of your feet closing like the lens of a camera, and earth energy gently receding back and down. As you take another deep breath in, and you hold it for a moment. Exhale and close those double doors of your heart and your hand chakras. And allow for that energy to settle in a bit. As you continue to deep breathe. And as you take in another deep breath, on the exhale, see your crown closing like the lens of a camera, and that beautiful, golden, etheric, life force energy ascends back up into the heavens. As that divine energy is all over you, all around you. And all around your aura layer are these beautiful hearts and stars of unconditional love and magic. And that is what your days will now be filled with. So as you take another deep breath in and exhale out, you can go ahead and open your eyes.
And we're back. That was beautiful, and the breath work thing, really, that kind of works. That works. I love the theme. I love how this is kind of taking us forward to where we're going on the 22nd of April too.
Yes, a little precursor.
Beautiful. It's good to be back, Jolé.
Yeah, yes it is.
Yes. So, right, okay. Well, let's do the wrap up. Let's get
All right.
ourselves done. So, as usual, thank you everybody for being here
Yeah,
today. Very
thank you
much
so much.
appreciate your presence as always, and for the comments and everything. Thank you for being part of our community. Again, for anybody who wants to join our WhatsApp community, the link is on the video below. We will be sending the newsletter out tomorrow. Therefore, that will be anybody who wants to join that distribution list, send me an email to johndrew@elevatedplanet.life, or contact us through the website, which is elevatedplanet.life/contact, and that gets you to our contact page. So we guarantee to respond to that and get you onto our list, and also include any questions. Jolé, any other thoughts?
Always, like, share, and subscribe. Whether you like it, what you hear or not, we could use the support, and we really are doing the work to try and really help people move from darkness into light. And it's such an honor and a privilege for us. So we would love it if you would share our content with others.
Yes, absolutely. Whether you like it or not, just get it out there. Yeah. But no, it's wonderful. I'm really grateful to everybody who's tuned in, and whether it's on the live or whether it come through on the recording, just join us. We'd love to have you with us on the journey. But again, any messages or thoughts around what we do, again, do send them to us as well. And I think with that said, that is about it for this week, Jolé.
Yes, I will say that it is.
All right. Well, that's it then. Okay, right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. We love you, and we look forward to seeing you again in a week's time.
Yes, take care.